Hi, today we will discuss about cirrhosis. As we know that cirrhosis, it's having a long definition. It's okay. It is a late stage, means advanced stage progressive hepatic fibrosis, which is characterized by destruction of hepatic architecture and formation of regenerative nodules. Means here we are seeing the destruction of hepatic architecture and there is a nodule formation. If you see the normal healthy liver, in this there is a we are seeing the draining is absorbed from the liver to portal vein. Now what is portal vein means? It is in this portal vein the gut veins essentially drain into the portal vein by passing through the liver. While doing this process, means while passing through the liver, it absorbs all the nutrients from the gut, and by GIT it will drain to the portal veins. Okay, did you understand that? We seen that GIT veins drains into portal veins. How it drains means it drains by absorbing all the nutrients from the gut, and after that by using through the GIT, by passing through the liver, it drains into the portal veins. Okay, for example, this is about the normal condition. Okay, now if we see a person with liver cirrhosis, there we can observe that a cirrhotic liver will get fibrosis and nodule formation. In definition, we have clearly mentioned that there is a destruction of hepatic architecture and formation of nodules. So in cirrhotic liver, they will get a fibrosis and nodule formation, and in this condition the portal vein, generally under normal condition, the portal vein actually drain the blood into the liver, but here the draining is not much effective because there is a formation of fibrosis and the liver there is a formation of the fibrosis of the liver. So due to this there is a backflow due to build-up of the pressure in the liver. Due to that backflow, this progression from a normal liver to cirrhotic liver is an irreversible progression. Hence all these changes are observed in the cirrhotic liver. If you see the causes of cirrhotic liver means, we are observing that chronic viral hepatitis, alcoholic liver disease, hepatochromatosis, these are the common causes. And if you see mild causes means autoimmune hepatitis, medications, Wilson disease and celiac disease, etc. There are some other, alcohol consumption. These are the diseases which causes the cirrhosis of the liver, means which first it damages the liver and then gradually it leads to the cirrhosis by occurring the death of the liver cells. It causes the cirrhosis condition. Okay, if you see the signs and symptoms of cirrhotic liver, we can observe that hepatic flap means it is a neurological sign, and parotid gland swelling, jaundice, gynecomastia, hepatomegaly, splenomegaly, ascites, caput medusa, pulmonary edema, testicular atrophy, clubbing, I think everyone know that nail clubbing, hypertrophic osteoarthritis. These are all the signs while whatever we are observing, means physical examination and during laboratory examination and other diagnostics. These are the signs and symptoms which we observed in the cirrhotic patients. And if we go for complications, what they are having means, these patients with a cirrhotic liver, they result in portal hypertension, because we already know that it occurs mainly due to the portal vein backflow. So it results in portal hypertension. And ascites, hepatic encephalopathy, variceal hemorrhage, bacterial peritonitis, hepatorenal syndrome, portal hypertension, pulmonary hypertension, cirrhotic cardiomyopathy, all these are the other complications which occurs in the cirrhotic patients. and these complications are due to fibrosis of the liver because of the increase in pressure that results in having backflow from the portal vein to gut in GIT. All these is it clear? All these complications are due to fibrosis. Fibrosis means it's nothing but cirrhosis. These due to the fibrosis of the liver, due to this condition there is an increase in the pressure which results in backflow from the portal vein to the gut, which that occurs in the GIT. Here we are seeing the normal healthy liver and cirrhotic liver. In normal healthy liver we are seeing that a portal vein and the GIT veins usually drains into the portal vein. Means this is a normal condition where the portal vein actually drains the blood into the liver by passing through the liver, and it absorbs all the nutrients from the gut, and by GIT it will drain into the portal vein. This is what's happening in the normal healthy liver. Here in the second diagram we are seeing the cirrhotic liver, where we can see the fibrosis and nodule formation, and we can clearly observe that backflow of the portal vein. This is the you can clearly see the difference between the healthy liver and cirrhotic liver. If we go for pathophysiology, now here we are seeing the normal liver. What's happening in the normal liver means functioning of the liver. If you see normal liver, there are liver cells, blood vessels, and also we are seeing hepatocytes. The last this is the hepatocytes we are seeing, and these are the sinusoidal cells, is second row, and here is this space we are seeing, here is the hepatic sinusoid. This is space hepatic sinusoid, which is essential where the portal vein drains, and these veins will then drain after passing through, and then it forms a central vein. And here we are seeing this yellow color. This is the, we will call that as stellate cells. The function of the stellate cells is, it is mainly important for pathogenesis of liver cirrhosis, because these stellate cells are usually dormant and at rest conditions in the normal liver. Means the main function of the stellate cells is they are dormant and they are at rest condition. This resting position is the main condition in the normal liver, but in cirrhosis they are activated. The main difference is stellate cells are activated in the cirrhotic liver and they are rest in the normal liver. And we are seeing this blue color one, that is Kupffer cells, which are the liver cells, units of liver. These Kupffer cells which are essential for the macrophages of liver. This is the normal liver we are seeing, and we already seen that the causes of liver damage, that is mild causes, we have seen that autoimmune hepatitis, medications, Wilson's disease, celiac disease, these all the conditions will lead to liver injury. First it causes liver injury, and then it causes hepatocellular necrosis. Means cells in the hepatic system, it causes necrosis. Necrosis means death or apoptosis. As a result of this liver injury, all these changes in the liver together, we can say that it is an advanced stage. Means liver, after first it starts with the liver damage, means all the causes will lead to the liver injury and causes hepatocellular necrosis. After that it ends with the advanced stage, what we are calling now as cirrhosis. Okay, if we see the cirrhotic liver, here we are seeing that this is a cirrhotic liver. We can observe this is the normal liver and this is a cirrhotic liver. I think you can observe the difference. Means in cirrhotic liver we can find the fibrosis and nodule formation. Previously I have shown already I have shown the difference between the normal liver and cirrhotic liver, so you can easily identify. So in cirrhosis there is a dead cells. These I already told that there is a necrosis. So these red liver cells release damage associated with the molecular pattern dumps. These are the dumps. You can see that red color one. Here if you see in hepatocytes, you can see the molecular dumps, and also it react with the reactive oxygen species, ROS. ROS means reactive oxygen species. And then it will stimulate the, after that it stimulate the Kupffer cells and stellate cells. We already know, you can see that from here it is associated with the molecular pattern of dumps and also associated with the reactive oxygen species, and it's stimulating the yellow color one, that is stellate cells, and the blue color, which is we already know that Kupffer cells. I have already told you that these stellate cells are dormant and rest in normal liver, and but in cirrhosis liver they get activated. So we already seen that in this cirrhosis it is activated. So when it activated, it stimulates the macrophages to Kupffer cells and it releases the cytokines, and also they secrete the chemokines such as CCL2. This is the CCL2 receptors, what we call that as chemokines. These CCL2 means which attracts more innate immune cells to this area via CCL2 receptors. As a result of this, activation of stellate cells and Kupffer cells, they stimulate the cytokines and chemokines. These chemokines attracts the innate immune cells, and as a result of this there is an accumulation of immune cells and as well as activation of stellate cells, which release due to this activation of stellate cells they release many more cytokines. Means number of cytokines will be increased. What are those cytokines? Means TNF alpha, IL-6 which is nothing but interleukin 6, and interleukin 1b, and TGF. I think TNF interleukins already you have known, and TGF means it is a transforming growth factor. This transforming growth factor is released by stellate cells. Means this TGF is released by stellate cells, and as well as though it is released by stellate cells, and it further stimulates more stellate cells to transform and become the myofibroblast. Means already they have released by the TGF. Means this TGF are released by the stellate cells, and they stimulate more stellate cells. After releasing this, they stimulate the stellate cells to become the myofibroblast. So it causes myofibril blast proliferation. Okay, after that proliferation of myofibroblast, it releases transforming growth factors which stimulates the stellate cells to proliferate and become myofibroblast. Is it clear? After causing the myofibroblast, proliferation, it releases the TGF, which stimulates the stellate cells to proliferate and become myofibroblast, and they produce matrix to collagen. This gradually leads to the fibrosis of the liver, which is associated with the liver cirrhosis. Is this process clear? So it is starting with the TGF. This TGF forms myofibroblast, and these myofibroblast produces matrix, which leads to fibrosis of the liver, and finally gradually it leads to the cirrhotic condition. We already know that cirrhosis is differ from the liver failure. If the complications become severe, then liver transplantations can be performed. And in the cytokines, we have seen only TGF. If we go for, there is also one other condition which causes cirrhosis, means that is nothing but TNF alpha. I think all of you know that TNF alpha means tumor necrosis factor. It causes inflammation and liver damage. Here, if we see clearly, in the liver damage, we observe that there is a formation of necrosis or apoptosis, and this necrosis will lead to the fibrosis of the liver and causes cirrhosis. Means there are in TNF alpha it attracts neutrophils and T cells. In TNF alpha it attracts neutrophils and T cells. These T cells are important for these T cells causes inflammation and liver damage, which gradually leads to necrosis and then fibrosis and then to cirrhosis. This is about the pathophysiology of cirrhosis, means how the normal liver is converting to the cirrhotic liver. If we go for diagnosis, there are 6 main diagnostic tests, which is for the first thing is liver biopsy, where we are seeing that where we take a part of the cells, and it is the main standard test for the cirrhosis. And the second one, LFT, it is nothing but liver function test, where we can perform several tests, which includes which we measure the ALT, AST, alanine and bilirubin for finding the normal values. And we also use ultrasound. And the fourth one is metabolic breath test. In this, it is used to access the functional reserve of the liver rather than the structure of the liver. We use the function of the liver. We access the function of the liver. And the fifth one is hepatic venous pressure gradient. In this, this is a test which is used to measure the venal pressure in the liver. And the sixth one is transient elastography. In this, it measures the stiffness of the liver, which may reflect the fibrosis or edema or inflammation. This is about the diagnosis. If we go for the management, there is a step-by-step process. In the first, in the starting stage, we can use the slow or reserve the progression of liver disease. Means we can slowly decrease the progression of disease. And if we are unable to control the condition, then we can go for the second step, which is nothing but the preventing the superimposed insults to the liver. That is by using vaccinations or avoiding hepatotoxins or avoiding alcohol or adjusting the medications, means which causes hepatotoxicity or any other drugs which causes injury to the liver. And the third one is medication adjustment and avoidance, means what are the drugs we have to avoid during this condition. And the fourth one is managing. If still it is not controlled, then we can go for the managing the symptoms, and we can maintain the laboratory abnormalities. Means what are the, first we have to find out the abnormal values, then we have to sort out that condition. Symptoms such as muscle cramps and umbilical hernias. In case of lab details, we can go for hyponatremia, thrombocytopenia and increased INR. And the next one is preventing, identifying and treating the complications of cirrhosis. First we have to treat the complications. What are the complications caused due to the cirrhosis? And at the last one is liver transplantation. Here, if we see the list of medications we need to know about the cirrhosis, means first we need to know the cause of the disease. Means based on the cause we can give the treatment. Means if cirrhosis is caused mainly due to the jaundice, means we can or if hepatitis, means we can go for the hepatic drugs. Or if it is caused, if there is a condition of edema, means then we can go for diuretics like furosemide. And if there is a high venous pressure, means we can go for antihypertensive drugs, means which reduces the blood pressure. So based on the cause of the disease which causes cirrhosis, then treatment should be adjusted. So no particular medication is mentioned for the cirrhotic condition. And antiviral drugs may be used. First we have to find out the based on which cause it leads to the cirrhotic. If it is caused due to the alcohol, means the main medication we have to use is avoid alcohol or disulfiram drugs, naltrexone. So these are the few medications that are used. That's all about the cirrhosis of the liver.